Let's delve into horrible case of stepfather and stepdaughter. In this case, the starting of this story begun where a challenge started by Caroline, the stepdaughter. Kevin Joson was a capable auto mechanic and caring husband married Lucy, a woman with full of energy who had an 18-years-old daughter, Caroline, from her previous marriage to Scott. Caroline nature was cool before divorce. After the first divorce, he become disobedient, not intertected with new father Lucy, work hard to maintain peace in the family. She thinks that in time, Caroline would come to terms with the divorce and accept Kevin. However, Caroline only grew more withdrawn. Her relationship with her mom became strained, and she actively avoided interaction with Kevin. Everything changed one night when Caroline was out partying with her friends drunk, and in a happy mood, she made a bet with her friends that she could attract anyone in the world. Her friend gives a challenge if Caroline could seduce her bad stepfather Kevin, whom Caroline consider as a bad dad, not due to personal reason because of her mom pervious lesion. After thinking some time, Caroline agreed. Her friends said, "If you will do this, we will give you latest iPhone," according to the trend. It had been just a game for Caroline, but she fully decided to test her limits. The initial step involved the glances Caroline started throwing at Kevin. Sometimes they were long and penetrating, sometimes brief and awkward. Kevin noticed these glances but didn't think much of them, attributing them to teenage uncertainty. A few days passed, and Caroline began to move on to more overt actions. Caroline would touch Kevin as she passed by and throw him innocent, but promising smiles. Kevin started to feel uncomfortable but tried to ignore it. He thought it was just youthful rebellion and didn't tell it to Lucy. However, Caroline was not going to stop. She started spending full time at home trying to be near to Kevin. Caroline found excuses to ask him for help and increasingly stayed alone with him. Kevin noticed that her behavior and rude tone was changing, but continued to ignore her advances, hoping it would pass on its own. One evening, Lucy had to leave for a few hours on business for business deals. Caroline saw this as growing opportunity towards her plan. She knew that Kevin is also at home alone and decided to catch up the moment as Kevin sat in the living room watching TV. Caroline approached him and sat down next to him. She started the conversation with "Hi, how are you?" topics, but gradually the discussion shifted to more personal matters. Caroline was unusually sweet and courteous, which confused Kevin. Kevin tried to maintain his distance, but Caroline was persistent. After a while, Caroline did something Kevin hadn't expected. Caroline starting touching her hand and trying to showing some love to Kevin. After this, he also attracted by Caroline beauty. Caroline dragged him and started kissing on lips slowly. After this, Caroline started this process. Kevin never feel this amount of joy in Lucy and deeply enjoy the moment until Lucy not came at home back, but Kevin found something of their own in it. Caroline saw it as confirmation of her allure and power, while Kevin experienced a forbidden pleasure that he lacked in his marriage to Lucy. This mistake marked the beginning of their secret affair, which occurred several times a month. But no one knew that this forbidden romance would lead to tragic consequences. About a month had passed since Caroline and Kevin had started their forbidden affair life. Went on due to teenager loving a lot more than the Lucy. The Kevin was addicted to Caroline's charming beauty and cute face. Kevin continued to work as a mechanic again after spending a lot of days with Caroline, sometimes taking on individual jobs, if someone's car broke down on the road in the front of home, or calls from factory area. One late evening, Kevin received a message from a client who saying that to Kevin, his car had broken down on a deserted road near a huge forest. Kevin took her workable tools and set out on the call the next day. Kevin was found dead by the side of the road. A passing car driver who noticed the body called the police after second attempt. Police pick up the call of car driver. The driver told all the incident about Kevin's body to police. After little time, the police and investigators reached near the Kevin body. It was clear that Kevin had been deliberately run over. The nature of his injuries indicated that it was not an accident case, but a pre-planned murder. Lucy was in shock. She could not believe that her loving and caring husband was dead. Caroline, though shaken by the death of her stepfather, understood that her game was over. The police launched an investigation, taking all the information from everyone and questioning everyone who could be connected to the murder. Lucy was one of the first people the detective spoke to. She told them about her family life, her family members, Kevin's late-night calls to work. Kevin's life was so simple and friendly behavior with everyone, and Lucy said to investigators Kevin was a good man with non-enemies. Her account did not provide the detectives with any crucial leads, but nothing was found. Investigator checked the phone record, but he found nothing. Caroline was next to be interrogated. She described her relationship with her stepfather to investigators due to divorce of her mom. Wait, first father. She tells all the story about challenge with friend over an iPhone to seduce the stepfather. She will get a brand new iPhone according to the trend. Since Kevin's funeral, Lucy was trying to cope with her grief, while Caroline struggled with a sense of guilt one morning. As Scott was driving Caroline, she noticed damage to the front of the car. She asked her father what had happened, and he replied that he had accidentally bumped into a barrier in the parking lot. At first, she didn't think much of it, but strange thoughts and suspicions wouldn't leave her mind. She began to recall the past few months and analyze her biological father Scott's behavior. Scott had come to their home a month ago to collect her things. But her biological father saw Caroline and Kevin enjoying both at home, these thoughts putting Caroline in a depressed environment. But she should give this information to police or not. After thinking too much about this, he decided to tell the secret which she hid from police. After 1 week, Caroline reached at police station and tell this secret of Kevin and her relationship and biological father incident before 1 month ago, of Kevin death incident. The investigator called the Scott for investigation in police station when the investigator started asking question, answering why you take divorce from Lucy. Did you not miss your wife and daughter at the point? Scott talking slowly and answering with low sound because the investigator asking again and again about the divorce, the previous life with Lucy. Why you do this? Why you take this type of step? Like divorce, the investigator feel the again and again asking same question. Scott feel pressure, but as the officer take the name of Kevin, Scott expression going towards anger, but he controlled herself. But when again, the officer speak out, the name of Kevin from her mouth. The Scott told all the incident to officer 1 month ago before the Kevin death. Scott going toward taking things from ex-wife Lucy home. When he enter the Lucy home, he hears some love and romantic sound. Scott feel Lucy is spending her own time with husband. He go out from home and sat in the car after 20 minutes. He called to her ex-wife, Lucy, I am outside of your home. Kindly the thing can hand over me. Then the ex-wife Lucy reply, I am not at home. I am on a bus and yes deal. This thing shocked Scott if the Lucy is out. Maybe the Caroline spending time with her boyfriend. After this he quick enter the home there. The Scott saw no one at home except Kevin and Caroline. At that moment, Scott act normal. Kevin and Caroline both shocked, but the coming after 20 minutes Caroline and Kevin look like both are busy in their activities. The hand over the things to Scott. After going home, he decided to finish the Kevin. After some days, Scott text to Kevin from unknown number. My car is damaged in the forest and send her location when the Kevin reached at the place. Scott hit the Kevin with car and take her cell phone and delete all the recent messages. After hearing this, police take Scott in custody and put in the bars after hearing from court. The Scott punished for 25 years under the bars, and Caroline, her mom, leave the city and move to another one city. So comment below if this crime gives a little lesson.